I'm going to break down the average retirement savings for people in their 40s in both Canada and the United States and share some easy tips to help you boost your savings no matter where you stand right now. I'm Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement. I produce a retirement lifestyle video every Saturday at noon. Turning 40 really is a big milestone in life, but it's also somewhat of a crossroad as well. You're no longer the wild and crazy kid or young adult, although I hope you really never give that one up totally. But many people find that in their 40s, they're now kind of looking more to the future. They're reflecting on their life's trajectory and possibly questioning some of the things, maybe their career, their relationships, their priorities, health, even their overall sense of fulfillment. And that's why it's called a midlife crisis, that many people experience that in their 40s. It really can be a daunting time, but it can also be a very exciting time. It can be a period of both reflection and maybe reinvention. So, today, though, I want to focus on the future and how to make your life and your future retirement remarkable. So, first off, let's just remember as we're listening to this that everyone's situation is unique. And many, many, many factors influence how much you should, although I hate that word, or could have saved by the time you're 40 or in your 40s. And some of these factors are your income, your lifestyle, the cost of living where you live, when you started saving, if you have kids, if you have a mortgage, all sorts of things really influence how much you have saved. If you began saving in your 20s, you might be ahead of the curve. But if life got in the way and you have kids and a mortgage and etc., you might be not quite as far ahead as others. But don't worry, there's still time to catch up. This video is really not meant to judge yourself or to judge others. It's just meant to make you aware that time really does move quickly. So, next, we just need to talk about average savings versus median savings. Both average and median are statistical measures used just to represent a center of a data set. However, they're calculated differently. So, average is calculated by adding up all of the numbers in a data set and then dividing by the total number of numbers. Because it's simply the average of all people, it can be a little bit skewed if a group of people have a large amount saved. So that number often isn't as accurate, I suppose, or as reflective of the real world as the median. So the median is the middle value in a data set. When numbers are arranged in order from smallest to largest, it then separates the lower half of the data from the upper half. So it's really less affected by lower values or by higher values. It is just the median. So finally, let's take a peek at the average and the median savings for for a 40-ish year old in both the USA and Canada. Let's start with the United States. According to Forbes.com, for the Americans in their 40s, the average retirement savings is approximately $77,400. That's the average. When we take a peek at median, it's very, very, very different. The median retirement savings for a 40-ish year old in the United States is approximately $12,000. Again, according to Forbes.com. This figure, they say, is a more accurate picture of what the typical person has saved and isn't skewed by extremely high balances. And now for Canada, we're just a little bit different. I am located in Canada, and according to fidelity.ca, the average retirement savings for a 40-ish year old in Canada is approximately 105,000. But once again, the median is a more realistic picture and it's approximately $40,000. So now that we know the number, again, don't judge yourself. I know I didn't have that much when I turned 40. The far majority of my retirement savings came once my kids left home, but at least we have a number that we can sort of talk about and figure out. So let's talk now about 4 ways in your 40s to boost your retirement savings. Number 1, contribute to and match, if possible, your employer's pension plan. So many employers offer, I believe it's a 401k in the US or a pension plan in Canada, and many allow you to match or even just to contribute to it. For me personally, my employer offered, paid for a pension or contributed to a pension for me, and I was allowed to contribute up to 50% of what they paid. And I did that, but it was so difficult to do at the beginning. We had tiny little kids, we had a big mortgage, we had daycare payments, we had a car that never ran properly. It was hard to do. But once you got into the habit and the money just came off my paycheck every 2 weeks, I didn't even think about it, I didn't see it. And looking back, it was one of the best decisions I could have made to begin saving for my retirement. Number two, most income earners in their 40s are getting towards the peak of their career or moving up the ladder anyhow. And because of that, they also have a lot of taxes taken off at source. So take advantage of the tax deductible plans available where you live. Most countries have some type of tax deductible and tax deferred savings plans available. This will not only help you to save money now and for the future, but it lowers your tax burden at this time. I know at some point in the future we can't avoid the taxes, but right now, while you're making lots of money, it's a great advantage for you to have. Number three, automate any additional savings. And so again, one of the best things I did is I opened up just a savings account and had a portion, I think at the beginning, literally, I think it was $10 a week, but just had a portion of my paycheck automatically transfer into it. I didn't have a bank card for that account because I didn't want to have to spend it, or I just wanted to forget about it. So once a year, and right around my birthday, I always did this. So once a year, I would review it and either transfer some to my tax deductible account if I had room, or purchase an investment with it if I didn't. Another great way to save. And again, I think I started, like I said, with $10 a week, so not a lot of money. And then number four, I believe now is the time to possibly review your spending. Not a fun thing, but to see if or where you can cut down on your unnecessary spending. And I say unnecessary, everything we do is kind of necessary, but I know in all of our lives, hopefully there's a few little things that we can cut down. So if you're 40 in your 40s, you may not yet agree with me, but time really does fly fast. And the older you get, the faster it seems to go. And before you know it, you're going to be 65 looking to retire. So if you can cut out even $25 a week now and save that, you can increase your nest egg a lot. Just the $25 a week alone, without interest, would increase your retirement savings by $32,500 by the time you're 65. And then if we add in compounding interest to that, depending on the interest rate, you could have over $81,000 with an interest rate of 7%, or even at 5% compound, you'd have almost $60,000 just by cutting back and saving your $25 a week. So I want to close this video with just a little bit of dose of reality to make sure you don't feel frustrated or disappointed in where you are in comparison, especially if you're not where everyone else is. I mentioned earlier that the far majority of my retirement savings came after my kids left home. We had kids relatively young. I was 22 and 24 when they were born. We had a big mortgage. We had small kids. We had hockey. We had school. We had bus fees. It was hard. And I remember many times we were so broke. And I mean broke. There were months I didn't know how we fed our kids. I really don't. Somehow we muddled through. There were months that I cried and I was worried. But our last son left home when I was about 46. And that was when finally our mortgage was at least reasonable. We didn't have hockey. We didn't have school supplies, kids' clothes, food, etc. for the boys. And we turned most of that, not all, but most of that into saving for retirement. And thankfully today, it's made a big difference in our lives and we have a comfortable retirement. But just keep in mind, no matter where you are, retirement planning, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The most important thing is to keep moving forward. Even if you're starting later than you'd like, every dollar saved today is one step closer to your retirement goals. And by staying focused and making informed decisions, you'll be well on your way to a comfortable retirement. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on making your retirement remarkable. I'm Maureen Dobransky. Again, this is Life Starts at Retirement. Please consider joining our Facebook group. It's over 30,000 members now, an incredible group. Facebook.com/group/Life Starts at Retirement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.